don't feel the need to check on me. Need you to know. Yeah. I'm all sound with a sober mind. Swear that shit so divine. When I had long days, I pull some wine. Them short nights of sleep killing me over time. It's open eyes to my bank account is over 9 figures of course. The higher I climb, the bigger the fall. That's not the plan, but a nigga is cautious. How to stay afloat is what I fill up my thoughts with. When I need answers, I just whisper through God's ear. Within myself is where the answers live. I realize you don't have to be diagnosed to be cancerous. Each situation I eye close and I handle it. No need to linger. You niggas try and hold your cards close to your chest, but your body language is what I'm reading. Me saying less got you probably thinking that I don't see ya. I do. See, I don't miss much. Shout out to that text from South Africa. They been showing me big love. So if you callin', I'm busy. No, I ain't switch up. Can't say the same about a few. Niggas give up on themselves, abort their dreams, they try and blame it on you. You made the choice to not finish what you came here to do, it's true. Paralyzed by fears, that shit is crucial. My music is where you'll find my tears, that's what I'm used to. Expressions of emotions that I done.
Man, we back, episode 6. I'm so excited. I have a great episode in store for you guys with me and the beautiful Destiny Mason. And just shouting out that queen. I have to shout out another queen, which is Regina King. And just a side note that we shot this episode a day after her son Ian passed away. So and during the episode, we kind of talk about the situation a little bit. And also, rest in peace to Ep.6, rest in peace to Dolph, rest in peace to Nipsey. These are all people that have inspired me and the reason why I'm here today. So I want to give a great respect and just rest in peace to them and prayers for them and prayers for their families. And also, again, prayers to Regina King. And so with that being said, it's time for episode 6. Thank you to all my subscribers and to all the people that support me. I truly appreciate it. All right, we back. Episode 8. I got Destiny Mason here with me, just a YouTuber. It's a great person, great energy, great vibe. Someone that I haven't personally met, but I'm a fan of her page. I'm very glad she's here. I got my main man with me every episode, aka Big Stepper. We got Goo. You know, quick quote, do your thing, and man, we're gonna get it started. So I just want you to start off by tell me how you grew up.
So I was born and raised in Louisiana, very small city, Monroe. I'm not the only child, I'm the youngest child. I have an older brother, came from a divorced household, you could say that. But like growing up wise, I kind of like never knew what I wanted out of life. I still don't, but I'm just getting myself together slowly. Right. But I feel like me starting YouTube is helping me learn myself and like grow as a person. So yeah.
Okay. And growing up in like a divorced household, for my podcast, it's a mental health podcast. Obviously, I like on the mental side of things. So how was that?
So I was about like 7 or 8 when it happened. So of course it's hard for a little kid. You don't really know what's going on because Black parents don't sit down and explain to you things. They'll be like, oh, you'll understand later. So it was rough. You would see like a lot of arguments and like fights, stuff you're probably not supposed to see at a young age. And it would kind of like affect how I went to school, because sometimes I would go to school and I just like bust out crying. And I was like, what's wrong? So like, my teachers and stuff found out my parents went through a divorce, so they tried to do everything to like help me mentally to get through school. But it's very hard for any age, really, not even just a young age.
Yeah, of course. I think I grew up in a single parent household. My mom died when I was a baby, so I never even got a chance to speak to him. So I can kind of talk about like being in a toxic household, because it wasn't really good growing up. But I went to school, I was just like, I was always like a kid, especially being Black, they teach you to smile behind your pain.
that's why I think a lot of mental health things is coming up, especially in our society with African American men and obviously African American women. So, you being an African American woman and going through a divorce, like, how's your relationship with your dad? Are you a daddy's girl? You a mama's? Like, what side you follow?
Actually, I am a daddy's girl. Me and my dad were like best friends. Like everybody knows that. I don't know. I know I can rely on my dad for anything. I try not to now because I'm getting older, so I'm trying to like, be an adult, even though it's hard. But we got the best relationship.
Right.
But I also started to realize how I grew up and stuff. And I was like, well, maybe I should start YouTube and kind of like do the same thing. And just kind of like watch myself grow over the years. So I don't know. I just like seeing myself grow. So that's why I do YouTube. I don't do it for the money. I do it for me.
Right. Yeah. And like on your page, like I could tell it's kind of like a you thing. Like I kind of sensed it. Like your energy and your spirit to your page is kind of like what attracted me and what made me a fan. Not really just like what you do. I'm a type of person, I'm really into spirit and energy and things like that. And you always have a smile on your face, so you're always just like your pay. Like to me, this is just for me examining. Like you're free when you're doing your YouTube. Like
right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's such a creative process, which is behind the scenes that. It's kind of like me with podcasting. Like they don't really know how I feel when I do it. Like I'm like, man, I love this, but they don't really understand the love, because they don't really know what goes behind like the mental process of this, of editing and doing a video. And then you like, I don't know if I want to, and also putting yourself out there, being vulnerable.
Yeah.
So how was it for you to finally step out of your comfort zone?
Well, I had a couple's YouTube at first. It was pretty cool, but I kind of felt like I wasn't truly being myself. So like once I moved out here, I was like, okay, I want to truly be myself. Like I want to show my full personality that like nobody get to see. And I kind of just told myself, just do it. Like it's me and the camera, no one else in the room. So like I got comfortable, like I live alone, like I can do this. So I don't know, I just started being myself more when I was alone and like got the mentality, it's me and the camera. I'm basically talking to myself.
Right. And you being alone, let's talk about that. I seen the video of you and it was like a single I forgot what you named.
Oh yeah, I think it's single Black girl edition.
Single
Day
Black
in my life.
Edition. Yeah, Day in Life. And obviously you being a queen, obviously, tell me about relationships. Like how what's your take on that? And do you feel like that's why you single, that has impacted, the reason why you single?
I don't think relationships are a bad thing. I think it just takes a lot of work. And it takes two to make a relationship work. So, I mean, if one person's not willing to put in 100%, it's not going to work. So it's more than the Instagram pictures and TikToks that people be seeing. Like, it's so much more that goes behind the scenes. Another thing that I realized, like, I'm young and I got my whole life to date. So like, don't stress about something that's not even gonna like matter in 5 years. Don't get something 5 minutes, like I used to get so mad about stuff and now I'm like, if it doesn't matter in 5 years, why give it 5 minutes? That mentality. But relationship wise, I don't know. I don't think I could do another one right now. Just because I did get out like a 2.5 relationship.
2 years?
So yeah, 2.5.
Damn.
Okay. Yeah. So that's yeah. But what was the other question that you said about relationships?
I said, what did I say? I said, oh, has that impacted you for the reason why you're single now? Like your past relationship or?
Yeah.
For sure. And how is it like being a single queen out there? Obviously someone that's very independent from my standpoint on it, like having your own house, just kind of like, and I sense independence in women because I come from a single parent household. So I'm really, really close with my mom, but I've never had a man in my life. Like my mom did everything. So,
Right.
you know, and that's one of the reasons, which we gonna talk about, because you sent me a question like why did I want to have you on my podcast? We'll get to that later. It kind of stems from that. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to say is like with everything that you have going for yourself or being independent in things, like how has that impacted you from even wanting, you know, to let someone into your energy, your space?
Let's see. So I know you kind of just asked two different questions in a way.
I did. I want you to answer both though. I want you to answer both.
So how does it feel like being a single woman now, since after like being in a relationship? Basically, it gets kind of hard because it's like, yeah, you get lonely. It's been like, yeah, you've been with this person for 2.5 years. You kind of wish you were still with that person. Right. But at the same time, you have to realize you have to put yourself and your mental health first, because my mental health was starting to get really bad, like really, really bad. Like I was going to go through depression again. And I was like, I can't go through that again because the first time it was really bad. So I just started putting myself first and know that I'm going to always be okay, no matter how lonely I get. That's another reason I do YouTube. If I feel myself getting sad or depressed, I make a YouTube video. Like, y'all don't really know, like, yeah, I'd be sad sometimes if I make a YouTube video, but no one will ever know because, I mean, I'm not going to show that. And
you spoke on like how having a YouTube mentally, you know, it helps you, and also what I sense like self-awareness. Like I don't want to go through depression again, and when I am feeling bad, like I'll do a YouTube video. So, and mental health is important, and I kind of want to have that conversation just with you today, because you sent me a question about like what's the man's perspective on mental health, and mine, me personally, being an athlete, growing up I grew up in a very like poor town, like Cameron, Louisiana. It's very small, and it's a lot of drugs and things of that nature. And I have family that's like in the streets, obviously, you know, coming from that background. But it's with mental health, I feel like it's everything. I feel like if we look at the history of African American men and what we had to go through with slavery and what we had to go through with fighting for our rights and what we still fighting for, going through today, police brutality, and just how we have to be parented as kids. Like as a black man and, you know, as a black woman, it's like, okay, well, you can't talk like this. You can't do this when you go here. Or like, you know, it's like the parenting system is different. Like we don't get to talk about feelings or, you know, these hard things about your parents being divorced, and like they don't think about mental health. They think mental health is like for people that's crazy, you know, and that's not the sense. And I think like as a man and just within the new generation with everything, like I feel like it needs to be changed to where when you're parenting these kids, you know, you really talk to them and really try to understand and give them outlets. Because I just speaking at my household, like, okay, you a boy, you being raised by a man, you can't be weak, you can't, you know, like you got to learn these certain type of things. But I feel like it's a systematic thing as well, because the neighborhoods and their environments and the people that we grow up with, sometimes you got to carry that aggression, you know, so people won't do things, and not trying to be a square. Like you're being realistic about the world, you know, and that's something that I'm glad that my mom, like she told me in my household, like be realistic of what the world is. So how do you feel? What's your thoughts on mental health in like our community?
So in the Black community, from a woman's perspective, it is hard. Like it's just so hard in this world. We have to be independent. We have to be able to carry babies on our own, and sometimes like the men leave us and it's like we got to deal with that while carrying a child. So it's like mental health is so important, like you were saying. It needs to be talked about more, and I'm so glad you're doing this podcast, because when I used to go through depression, I couldn't talk to my parents about it. I couldn't really talk to nobody about it. And I went through depression during college. So that's like the time like you're on your own, you're learning like who you are, you're just free in a way. And so much was happening in college, I couldn't really tell nobody, and it started making me get depressed. And I'm like, okay, so what do you do when you're depressed? Like, I don't know, let me listen to music. Let me listen to like Juice WRLD or Ep.6. That's what I used to do. But it's like at the same time, it wasn't good for me to hold in that information. So I was learning like, okay, it's good to talk to people about it. Now, I didn't know that. Cause I mean, when I
don't teach us
yeah,
that. Yeah, we don't know that. I feel
you get different signs of depression. Like I wasn't really eating for days. Like I would eat, let's say 4 nuggets and be full for the whole day and not eat. But I didn't know like there was a sign of depression. And I talked to my mom. I was like, I don't know why I'm not eating. She was like, I don't know, but maybe try tomorrow. And I'm like, why did I even talk to her about it? But I started to realize like months later, like, dang, I'm really going through depression. Like I'm losing weight. I'm not sleeping good. I'm not eating good. Like I'm not myself. Like I'm barely making it to class. So the Black community should like really get themselves together. Like it's bad because people out here like killing themselves. Like Regina King, her son just killed himself like because of depression. And not saying that, you know, his mom wasn't, I don't know the situation really, but it's like things like that. We can avoid that by just like talking to someone. But it's hard if like our community doesn't come together and talk about it. Like it should never be, what's the word? It should never be like hidden.
Should never be hidden, and it should always be out there. And also it's
right,
you know, parenting from the old days and having to teach your kid about the realness of the world, but then also not letting them express their feelings or how they feel. You know, you can parent somebody and tell them something, and then they take that feeling and they don't know how to, like, they can't even talk to you about what you just parented them, but they steady, you know, begin to grow. And I'm glad you talked about like depression in college, and like that's something that I personally went through. And I live in Portland, Oregon. My family's in Louisiana, so with them being there, all I get is phone calls that, like, you know. And I lost my aunt, and this was a year to where I was trying to be adjusted at a school that's 98% white, and going through all these boundaries and stuff for being a Black athlete, and just my aggression and where I came from. I was judged, just not even by the person I was, until people really got to know me, you know, behind the scenes of the aggressive basketball player. You know, I began to become depressed because I lost my aunt, and I got that from a phone call. So mentally, I didn't understand like mental health that serious, but mentally when I got that phone call, it changed my life like forever. Like even when I get a phone call now, like my heart beat. Right. You know, and I had to seek counseling as well, just from like losing my dad as a Black man. And this is something that Black kids don't talk about. And just even Black kids that have a dad but he's incarcerated, or Black kids that have a dad and they're not there. It's hard as a Black man to grow up, because, and this is something that I'm experiencing now, and why I had to seek counseling. And just being just completely honest with you, like I've never known how to like have guidance from men. I had it from my uncles, but it's different when you don't have it from your dad. So sometimes mentally I would think like, dang, like, man, like why God took my dad? And it would mentally mess me up to where like I didn't have a fear of getting hurt or doing something. You know, like I'll be talking trash. I'm across the world. Somebody tell me something. I'm like, well, we could do something. You know what I'm saying? And like, but I'm not really processing. Like, I don't really care about the consequences. Like if I'm hurt, if I'm killed or something, because to me, it would be mentally, I used to think of the way of I would be closer to my pops. You know, but I had to realize and I had to learn how to deal with my depression, and also just my self-awareness. Like self-awareness is something that I had to realize, like when I'm down, like why do I act like that? Or, you know, something to get me back up. And that's why I think it's important for kids today just to talk about those problems of not having their father there, and talk to their mom about it. Because a lot of kids hold it in, and then they get older and like we know, and then you see an example of the right way and it messes you up. Like I used to be messed up seeing, I play basketball, a dad and a son at a game. I'm like, dang, that's crazy. But I had to eat that up, and I didn't tell my mom or nothing. That's just something like, as a man, you feel weak, but that's what we're taught. You're weak if you come at me with feelings. You know, and that's something that has to change. Like I believe that's a big problem in our society today, especially with kings killing kings. Like I believe everyone is a king, black, white, blue, purple. But as we taking each other lives and these families and these kids growing up, like that's gonna mentally affect them. Like, man, like my dad gone, and with Regina King, I think. I'm a big fan of hers, and when I seen it on Twitter the other day, I was just like, man, that's crazy, like how this world is. And like I said, I don't know the logistics of relationships and how she raised her kid or anything, but all I do know is we all go through things in life. Like you're not gonna ever have a perfect life. You're not gonna ever be perfect. So please speak to somebody, and that's why I think it's important.
Right.
But I want you to talk about networking. We kind of talked on the phone a little bit when I first got your number. I was like, dang, like you're a real cool, down to earth person. And then you was talking to me like, man, you need to come out here and network and stuff. So please let's talk about the importance of networking.
So the first thing about networking, I always network up. So that means like when you network and you talk to people, make sure you're like gaining something from them. You shouldn't always be the person like talking or like telling them something. You always want to don't ever be the smartest person in the room. So that's kind of how I look at networking. Like kind of just be open to people, like step out your comfort zone. Like if you can be out anywhere, you can be out at a bar and you could be hearing people talking about investing or real estate. That's a big thing right now. Like talk to them, ask them about real estate. I'm pretty sure they'll be like happy to like network with you. So it's networking is getting out your comfort zone and talking to people who basically in a way smarter than you.
Right. And networking is important, and that's how we run the world today. Like the world is ran by networking. I personally feel like that's how it goes.
Right.
And it's a process to it as well, because with networking, especially when you're trying to build something or like you're in business for yourself, it's so crazy how people help you if you ask or you show support. And that's another thing within society, we're scared to be vulnerable. You know, like we're literally scared to say, oh, I'm a fan of your page, or like we'll look at it every day, or we won't like the picture, but we'll see everything. And it's about, you know, acknowledging, like, and that's why my mental mindset is give people their flowers while they're here. Like I do things like on Sundays, I do Decoding the Real Sundays. I just pick a random page or someone that means everything to me or that I'm a fan of, and I just give them their flowers. And also I have someone on here that I give people their flowers. Like, and that's what I think it's about in the world, because we never know today. You know, you never know when your time is up.
Right. And I also want to add something to the networking thing. I was just reading a book when I got in the tub. I always read books if I take a bubble bath. And I was reading, it was like 87.5% people knowledge plus 12.5% product knowledge equals success. So he was basically saying the only way you're going to like be successful is if you become a people person. So it's about 87% of people who you talk to, then 12% of whatever it is that you're talking about. Right. So I just read that in the tub. I'm like, dang, let me take a picture of this and talk about it on the podcast. Because honestly, I used to always be like, I'm not a people person, because people used to give me hella anxiety. But now, since I'm in the marketing firm, it's like I have to talk to people every day. I don't even know these people, but I have to go up to random people and talk to them. Like, that's what we do. And now I'm like, okay, let me not say that I'm not a people's person, because I found so many people out here. I found people who do like YouTube, detail cars, DJs. Like, I done found all types of people out here. So it's just about people. That's what it is, people.
And that's dope. And I think the thing about networking is too, like, it allows you to be more comfortable with yourself because you're being vulnerable, you're talking to people. And also, once you do get connections, the relationships you can actually build, you know, like I have relationships around the world, just some things that I've built just by networking, and also just being vulnerable. Like, hey, how you doing? And hey, I like this, or commenting under someone's page. Like, and I'm reading a book as well. It's called Tools of Titans. And they had a chapter on there about networking. And it was like, networking is for some people 80% of being vulnerable, like showing respect to the world, not just a DM, you know. And that really stuck with me, because I was like, dang, like, and that's why I kind of like outed like your page like that, because I was gonna DM you. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just put it on my own. Like, I'm gonna let everybody see. So whoever know me, you know, just give all the flowers, all the love. And like that has really helped me just in these past couple days, like network. And I'm like, wow, this is crazy. Like not being afraid and not really caring what other people think. You know? That's gonna lead me into the next question. Like, to talk about the mental part of believing in yourself. Because everybody be like, I believe in myself. And then they start doing something and then it doesn't really work out at the pace that they want to do. Or it can be so many things in life, like a job, like you feel like you're ready for that next step. And then boom, you know, like life and all type of things hit you. And then the test of when you really have to believe in yourself. So talk to them about that, please.
This is how I believe in myself. Every morning, I write in my notebook. And of course, when you wake up, you know, it's just kind of like, well, I spend time to myself. I don't know, like what other people do that's watching this.
Me too.
But I just put subject 1% better, and I write down the date, and I be like, okay, I'm gonna have a positive day. I will have a positive mindset. I will have a successful day. I will hit my YouTube goal. I will have a great work ethic. That's how I get myself to believe in myself. I'm like, y'all can like, I don't know if they can see it, but I do this every morning.
You can see it for sure.
I do this every morning. Like, that's how I get myself to believe in myself. I have to write it down. And I say it sometimes too, because if I just get up and go, it's like, okay, it is what it is.
Funny you say that. I literally, I wish I had my vision board closed. I have a vision board and I say my affirmations every day of my goals.
Really?
Yeah. Like when I wake up, and so what I used to do is I used to have it in my kitchen, but I was like, you know what? I want to see this every time I wake up. So I got it right by my bed. And it's literally like all affirmations of me. And I flip it in the morning before I go to work or anything. And I write down like how I'm feeling, like I will, or I feel like this. And you know, like I hurry up and make like a quick note of that. And nah, I like that. I like that you know, even that you say it or write things down. Like I right, for real, because that's a like that.
Right. This is what goes on behind the scenes that people don't know. Like
right. A whole bunch of stuff, man.
I got a vision board too. I did a YouTube video on it, so
I checked it out. But just like a couple things on your vision board. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, we can.
People. All right, tell me a little bit.
Let me pull it up actually.
Cool.
So I won't miss out on anything. I have so many pictures, it's ridiculous.
Nah, you good.
But yeah, I look at it, you know, when I'm feeling down or like I feel like I'm not doing enough. I always go back and look at my vision board. And little do I know, like I'm hitting my YouTube goal faster than I expected. And that's the first thing on my vision board. So of course, like if I don't hit my goal, I'm pretty sure I'll be close to it. But YouTube, I want to hit like 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And on my first YouTube video, it's going crazy. I haven't looked at it since like Friday, but I'm at 900 something views.
I've seen that, yeah.
And I don't know how it's going like that, but it is. And then my second thing is like working out, like health, fitness. Like that's a big thing. Like if you want to be wealthy, you got to be healthy first. And like after this call, I'm finna go meal prep. Like I'm finna get serious. Just start working out at least 3 to 4 days out the week. It don't have to be a hard workout, just like 30 minutes or so. And then the next one was just like plane. I never been on a plane. I've been on a cruise, but I never on a plane.
You never flew? Oh yeah.
Yes,
it's about to be a wrap for you. It's about to be a wrap. It's about to be a wrap. It's so funny though. And I don't even mean to interrupt you. Let me just say this real quick. After your first flight, it's a wrap. Like I tell you that, especially with people that's like ambitious and like the way you mentally like prepare yourself for everything, it's gonna be a wrap. That's gonna take you to go everywhere. But
right. But yeah, so I might be going to Miami next month. If it doesn't happen next month, I think I'm going to Atlanta or something like that very soon. But I might be going to Miami to network out there. And then the one beside the plane was like reading books. I love reading books. I like gaining knowledge, like just reading. Then after that, it's like focus on, motivation on, dedication on, excuses off. So I don't make no excuses for myself. Like when I'm at my marketing firm, it's no excuses. Like I turn my phone off, like no matter what happens. Like I know last week, a family member, they really pissed me off, but I'm like, I can't let that affect my day because I have a bad day. So I just turned that off, and then like focus was on, motivation was on. I had a good day at the end of the day. So I don't make excuses for myself. So the only way I made an excuse for myself is when I had COVID, and I kid you not, I was still trying to go to work. And I still think I got COVID. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh no.
And I'm saying it like this. I'm saying it like this because when I had COVID the first time, no way it was gonna go away in 5 days. And they're like, just stay at home for 5 days. That's what CDC was saying.
CDC gonna be on your ass. I feel it. And that's all great things. That's all great things. Right. I'm glad that you about to start traveling, your traveling journey. And man, just documented. I wish when I first started traveling, I didn't know how just impactful it would be. But man, I done been so many places as a kid. On this AAU team, we traveled everywhere. But I never would document it because social media wasn't really big. But now when I fly, I'm like, I really got to start documenting stuff because the experiences, what you see in the air, that's another thing. Like when you get in the air, you might be scared to start off, but once you look out the window, the views is something it's amazing, man. It's something I can't really explain to people that haven't flew, but once you fly, I'm telling you, it's amazing. And I want to know who inspires you. Who or what, whatever,
Let me see. I don't really know. I don't know no one fully inspires me because I see people on YouTube, and I steal ideas from people from YouTube. That's what YouTubers do. But fully inspires me, I don't know. Maybe just I know where I'm going, so I inspire myself. I know what kind of future I want.
Right.
So I guess I'm self-inspired in a way.
I like that. Tell me about how does it feel to be a Black woman today in today's world?
It's hard. It is so hard. You're constantly being judged for this and that. You can't. People have certain standards for Black women, Black women, they're not getting married fast enough, or Black women are having kids too fast, or Black women's always getting abortions. It's always something. I feel like people should just mind their business. It's their life. I feel like Black women can't live their life how they want it because it's too many people being judgmental. And mentally being a Black woman is very hard. It's like being a Black man in a way, because they expect us to be strong, and it's right. As women, you don't have to be strong, but sometimes in certain situations, like single Black moms, like your mom, she had to be strong for you. Right. And even for myself, when I went to college, I had to be strong for myself because I didn't really have nobody to depend on. That's when I learned I have anxiety and depression. So those two mix wasn't even good. So mental health on Black women can get better.
Right, for sure. For sure. I think being Black, it might. All the dynamics that we go through is kind of hard, but I think it's the dopest thing in the world. And reading books, I had a book right there. It's it's something that I'm reading just because obviously I'm a single man. It's called The Black Man's Guide to Understand the Black Woman. And I'm really into culture, and I'm really into learning just everything. Especially I grew up with a queen, so I've always thought in my head is still I have that dream of I'm gonna have a Black queen when I get married,
right?
Someone that's have a lot of similarities towards my mom, but as a Black man that then been in a relationship, I was recently in a a 2-year relationship as well. And like now being single, it's like, okay, like I need to do more homework. I need to be a better me. And being a Black man, I think is really dope. I think our culture, just from, you know, if people our color would read more and do our research, like everything in the world comes from us. And that's true. Like our society is so strong, whether it's dance and the rhythm, like that's us, you know, you got these girls with the lips and the, you know, the fake booties, like
the natural hair.
Yeah, the natural hair, like the braids, you know, the bonnets, like, you know, queens and kings are like I truly feel like that's how our race is. And I'm not down in any other race. Like I'm not racist or anything, but it's just like being Black. Like I take that with a badge of honor. Like I'm a Black man in society. Like I'm, you know, I chain or whatever, like, and I'm in the mental health field, so it's really different, because, you know, I come in with a different type of professional swag, and it's like, wow, like you look, you know, but that's just how it is and what the world is growing to.
Right, because it's like sometimes when I do walk into a room full of people that are not Black, it's like, in a way, you know how Pop Smoke say shake the room? That's literally what we do. Like if you're the only Black person in a room, and this happened to me because I went to a PWI, it's like, dang, because at first I used to look at it in the bag, but like, dang, I'm the only Black person. But then I got the mindset, oh damn, I'm shaking the room like Pop Smoke said. So I mean, yeah, it's different, man.
That's dope. Man. Oh, I found the question. What is the reason? What do you think the reason is why you're single today? That was the question. My bad. I actually crazy.
We both have things to work on. I'm not going to blame it all on him. It was both. We both have things to work on. We both needed to learn more about each other, more about ourselves. Kind of was in each other's faces too much. It wasn't enough space involved because we did live together. Yeah, and just realize, like, just take things slow. Like everything has to be rushed because society make us rush. So yeah.
But the same way with my relationship. What advice would you give someone struggling with mental
health? Keep going. Don't give up. If things get hard, talk to somebody, whether it's a like therapist. Don't be scared to go to therapy. Like, I need therapy. I'm okay.
I'm telling you, it's and people think that they only need therapy when they have a problem. It's like, nah, because in today's world, and this is how I view it, obviously, with me being in the mental health field and being like, because I'm in grad school, so like I do a little therapy, but the thing about it is you don't have to have a problem to go to therapy. That's the worst thing that people think. Like they think, oh, well, I ain't got no problems. And it's not that. It's being realistic with yourself. If you have friends that talk about things and you're not comfortable, like, oh, they might talk about me, or you have family members, like we all had that problem of wanting to just be like, get things out, but we afraid of how we're going to be judged. Even if you trust this person, like you don't want them to know you feel like this, or even if you trust your family. Like, I mean, we all have family members that we can't talk to. And this is what I preach to, you know, clients and even people that I see, advice that I give. If you go to a family reunion, you are not speaking to everybody unless you get introduced. But in the reality, that's your family. So if you really think about it, you're not going to be vulnerable to your family. That's a fact. That's not, because if you go to a family reunion, you're not talking to everybody. So if you have someone that you can get out, if you had a bad week or if you're down, and they're not going to judge you and they're going to sit open and listen to you, I'm telling you, it can mentally truly impact your life in a positive way. And I think that it can help you not become depressed, not have a problem, because you're such in, you know, you're in a box. And another thing is like couples therapy. Like a lot of people, you know, like a lot of people think, oh, well, a therapist gonna side with him, or you know what I'm saying? Like that can really be detrimental to y'all saving y'all relationship and also learning how to love each other. You know, like I just learned, and this was me reading a book, because I'm really into reading as well. And Nipsey Hussle is one of my idols, and like,
that's dope.
obviously he passed away, but I found his book list, And I've been reading his book list, and I'm literally like, I've been killing it. I read like 9 or 10 of his book list this year. I'm already about to be done with one. I'm trying to kill that record. I read like 10 books last year, trying to get to 20 this year. You know, like trying to stay at the best I can, because I'm a fan of Power and TV shows, but I'm trying to kind of, you know, get off of that and read more and just educate myself more. But yeah, I want to guy who inspired you. Mentally, just mentally, how do you think Black people view mental health?
They take it as a joke, honestly. Well, our generation is actually getting serious about it. I'm not gonna lie. Like, they're pushing it out more, but our parents, their generation and up, they take it as a joke.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. I don't think parents take mental health serious. I think our generation, some, but it's very few. I think it's like, it's not over 15% right now, even with everything that's going on. I think with societies that's still killing in these bad neighborhoods, I still don't think that they really accepted it. I still think it's like they think it's weak. They think you a square, you know, things like that. I
or
think,
they just they probably just like, parents, we used to tell them, you're depressed. You ain't depressed. Why are you depressed? You got clothes, you got food, but it's
right. Like, that's that line they say all the time.
That's not why I'm depressed. I'm depressed because I'm going through something mentally, not because of what I have. It's like, they don't take time to be like, oh, baby, what's wrong? Talk to me. It's more like, oh, go wash them dishes and you won't be depressed. Like, wow. But that's why I say it's a joke.
Nah, for real. I want to tell me about like the mental part of building your YouTube channel, like finding, because it, like, a lot of people don't know is like, you know, even your YouTube channel, like, you had to find the intro to be right, the letters that say your name, Destiny, all that.
Yeah.
Break all that down, because like, hey, I see it from a whole different perspective. Like, wow, like, that's amazing. She picked that, and because I know how hard it is now being in the podcast game, like finding it's so funny because the little letters will make you so mad. Like, no, my name is not gonna look good with that.
Right.
You know.
So it's stressful. It's very stressful because when you doing YouTube or podcast and you try to find what's you, so it's like, it can't be too aggressive, it can't be too soft, it has to be like just right. So I'm not gonna lie, I went through a lot of intros before I even got to the intro. And it took me it's simple, it's 10 seconds, but it took me about 2 to 3 hours to do that. It's very stressful. And then like planning your YouTube videos, like I plan my stuff. So I'm like, I try to be like an organized person, and that takes time because you have to sit there and think, okay, I'm gonna do this video, then this video, then this video, and then it's like, okay, what I'm gonna do next. So they get stressful. And then one thing I don't think about is other people's opinions, but I know sometimes they will stress people out, like, oh, maybe I shouldn't put this, or someone might get offended. But me, I don't care what I put in my videos. If you're offended, then I'm sorry.
Right. That's kind of how I run my podcast. Like, it's a different light. We're gonna be on here. We're gonna chop it up. Like, if you don't like the racial conversations, it ain't for you. You know, like, I can't. I don't want to. And that's something too. I never wanted to be presented as something that I'm not on camera. Like, faking it and doing all that. Like, I'm not. I wasn't born with that ingredient in me, and I wasn't raised like that. You know, like, I'm authentic, and that's how I want. And that's kind of how I channel the people that's coming on my podcast. Like, I don't want nobody else on there, you know, like, oh, like, I'm living this great life, you know, Givenchy on and Dior, and then you probably ain't got your own crib and then, like, you know what I'm saying? It's not judging people, but it's just that type of things. I'm cut from a cloth, but we don't really respect that. But
I think that's Louisiana.
Yeah, facts.
Because I don't respect that either.
Thanks. Growing up in Monroe, though. Oh, no, you good. Growing up in Monroe, and tell me about that experience, because look, I be looking on your page, you be cooking. That's one thing. Look, food my weakness. I be cooking as well. I've been meal prepping this whole month. I had got hurt which nobody know and I didn't talk about, but I had a bad concussion in early December, and I had to like take a break. And it was at a time to where like I had just got this big interview, and I'm like, man, it's gonna be crazy. But when I got hurt, I had to like really alter everything that I was doing, and mentally it really hurt me too, because I kind of felt like my podcast was about to take a big leap, and then I had to take a step back, and it was hard, like for real, like just climbing back and having a concussion. Like your body is so like reactive to like when you first get back. Like I remember going to the gym and I was so sad. Like I was in the gym like 10 minutes and I was just done, but I had to accept it, and you just build yourself back up.
Right.
But yeah, with the cooking thing, tell me about that. Does that stem from Monroe? Because look, I got some good food out there. I done been out there a couple times.
Yes. So I learned how to cook when I was I started baking first when I was young, because I used to always love being in the kitchen. Like I'm always in the kitchen, just like stealing recipes in my head and stuff. And so my dad used to actually like help me learn how to cook. So that's why I know how to cook, because I learned from him, because that man know how to cook. So cooking is so fun to me. Like, I don't know, I just love doing it. Sometimes it would be like if I'm sad or something, I'll like make me a nice meal. Yeah,
it is. See, but that's my weakness though, because I be cooking, and then I don't always cook the right stuff. Like I'll see a recipe online and like, ooh, it might not even be healthy, but I have to switch it. But it's easy as hell to be on a diet out here. I tell people that all the time, because they don't have good food in Portland. Like, you ain't got like, you in Texas, so the board. You
got Whataburger, Jack in the Box.
Man, look, I'm talking about restaurants out here. Man, look, we ain't got no turkey leg hut. We ain't got no Papados. We ain't, man. Look,
Papados is good.
Hey, I'm throwing salt too. If y'all feel like Portland, y'all got good food, drop it in the comments. Let me know where it's at. I'm trying to find it. But nah, it's Papados is my favorite restaurant.
Really? I just tried that like 2-3 weeks ago.
What? What you mean? No. What's your favorite restaurant?
They don't have Papados in Louisiana.
Oh yeah, but how long you been in Texas? How long you been?
Since December. I moved in December.
Oh, okay. But you never y'all never drove to Houston in car?
Oh yeah, when I go to Houston, I went to like Turkey Leg Hut and stuff. I didn't even stop by Papados.
Even as a kid, that's surprising. Like you're really the first person I met that haven't.
See, my mom's allergic to seafood.
Oh, that's why. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, you had to get zipped up.
Yep.
Hey, chop it up with me. I seen you graduated from Louisiana Tech. Congratulations, always. I know how hard graduating is. Man. Let's talk about the mental grind of that, man. That's something that need to be talked about. The staying up with papers and not wanting to go to class, and just the mental impact of writing and taking tests. And man, it'd be so much on you. Then you trying to live a regular life too.
Man, let me tell you, if you don't have a supportive circle in college, it's so hard. And yeah, I had like my friends and my dad, of course, but still then it was hard for me. College will mentally drain you. Like, I don't think I would ever go back, because it mentally drained me. Like, of course, freshman year, your best year, you gonna mess around.
You gonna have fun. Yeah.
You gonna have fun. So like, that's when my grades was the highest. Then like I started getting serious, and then my grades, they didn't drop, but it's like my GPA went down from like a 3.8 to like a 3.0. And I'm like, dang, let me get myself together. This now I was like applying myself, and I went to a quarter system school, so that's 10 weeks instead of
that's how I started
20. So like that's super hard already, because it's like, dang, in 5 weeks I got a midterm, and 10 weeks is a final. And then you also get like your first test like a week and a half to 2 weeks, and some people can't afford their books. So that's another problem in college. You always need money. It's always a financial problem. It's like my dad, he sent me like $100 a week, and then in midweek I'd be like, I ain't got no money. He like, how you ain't got no money? $100 in college, that's Waffle House, gas.
You gotta cook. You gotta cook in college. You gotta learn. You have to.
Yeah.
You gonna flame out quick.
But
quick.
There was a point in my senior year. I was supposed to graduate the summer actually instead of the fall, but I ended up failing a class, so it pushed me back, which made me more depressed. And so I really had to work my ass off the last 3 months of college because he wasn't gonna give me like an extra point or two if I was like even like a point away from graduating.
And that's another
so like
they literally and that's one thing that I hate. Like, you see me trying, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you have the ability to let me retake this or give me an assignment so I can get over the hump. But they're like, no, it's like this moral thing, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, man, at the end of the day, like you see and you know the mental grind. If you're a professor, you know what students are going through. And that's one problem that I really have with professors. Like, they be trying to hold themselves to this certain standard of like, of just, well, I can't do this for you, or like in a position of power, some people abuse that. You know, man, it'd be detrimental to people's lives, not just school. Like, they don't know how important it is for people's livelihood. Like, it's done, you know, people, man.
And I was the first person to graduate college, like from my mom, dad, brother. I was the first person. And like, I'm the first person on my, I think, both sides. Like, I'm the first grandchild to graduate college. So yeah, it was a big deal for me.
Nah, for sure. I got so many experiences for college. I can talk about this for
me too.
Man,
I don't know if y'all want to hear my experience.
Man, mine. I don't know. It's so funny because it like that could be a whole nother, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I gotta speak on. I would say like mentally like hard. Like, I even cried. Like, nobody know. I'll put this out there. I literally cried when I like realized I was about to graduate, because I understood the importance, like, of what I had accomplished, because I was the first one to graduate in my household. But also, like, I have an older sister and she have kids, and they're, you know, I didn't understand the impact that would have on the people that look up to me within my family. Like, and how my young nieces and nephews, and they were just like, Uncle Trey, like, you graduated college, like, I want to be just like you, and you know, like that. And I'm forced to have a role of being a father figure, even though I'm not a father figure. And that happens a lot in African American communities. For people that don't know, is sometimes we're thrown into their role because my nieces and nephew dad might not be there, or it could be situational, or they're just not in their life. So they kind of look at me and like everything that I do, you know, and I cried too, because I cried when I first found out. Then I really cried when they canceled, because I graduated during the COVID year, and I was so excited about graduation, like like I had a whole plan on how I was gonna take my pictures, because I knew my family was gonna come out there. So I just wanted to, like, instead of just having this crazy, like, oh, I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna get dressed up, I just wanted to just free fall it, like get dressed in my cap and gown and just be around my family and just have a photographer come, like, no matter where we at, small apartment, anything, because I feel like that'd be more memories than me walking in front of the school and taking a picture. Like, I hate that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to see that in the future. And man, when they canceled it, first they tried to limit it, and then when they canceled it, I still to this day, I haven't took, which I plan on. I told myself I need to, because that's something I want futuristic, and I just want around my house. But I haven't took pictures. I have my cap and gown. I haven't did anything, like, you know what I'm saying? Just because it didn't feel right. Like, I was a victim to that. And from all the hard work, all the shit I've been through to get like literally everything that I went through to get to that point.
Man, go ahead, take them pictures this year.
Look,
graduated spring 22.
Man, I'm gonna have to, for real. Like, I've been telling myself, like, nah, Trey, like you really need to do it. Then I start doing stuff, and I'm just like, man, like that. But I gotta do it for real. I'm gonna definitely have to do it, just to post. But like, I'm a social media, but I don't really take it as far as how people take it. Like, I don't believe in, like, I do social media for sure, YouTube and all that. But like I'm not someone that just like to gloat, and you know, if I go out, like I don't really need that satisfaction for the people to know, you know, as long as I know and I got my degree and I'm living a good life, but I just want to have it too as well, just to have a staple within, you know, with it being on my page. So yeah,
Right.
we're gonna do that. But shoot, we winding down. Let's talk about how'd you get the spot on my podcast? Let's talk about that. So realistically, you had DM'd me like 2 years ago, and I swear to God, I was like, oh, that's dope. Like she's a fan of my page, because I was just like, I had just started doing stuff. Like I didn't really know where it was going. This is like during COVID time. And once I had seen it, I was like, dang, like I need to reply. And I thought I had sent the reply, but ended up never doing it. But I've always followed you, and I've always looked at your page like, dang, like I need to send her something. But just being honest, as a man, I was kind of scared, like, dang, like I didn't reply back. And obviously, like when you sent me the message and looking at your nah, you good. Like when you send me the message and me seeing your growth within your page and within everything, like I was like, wow, like, dang, I'm really scared now, because she on a different level, you know. And I'm just like, man, I got to a point, like I said, with reading, and I was just like, I really, like, I'm just gonna be vulnerable and ask, because I'm a fan of your page just first off, your authentic, like your page is you. You know what I'm saying? Like kind of like the stuff you talk about. I love like your editing, and just because I have to do these type of things now, like I love your editing and just like everything about, even like that's why I want to get the behind the story, so I can learn your page even more. So if you do something like, oh yeah, she loved to cook, you know, because you're always doing that. And I just admire you being just a queen, you know, like an African American queen, and just like, you know, standing out and being vulnerable, taking chances, like networking, like all that means everything to me. And that's the type of women that I want to have on my podcast. Like I've always said that, like I want to have true queens on my podcast. And in today's society, you know, if you give a woman props to anything, like they think you're trying to holler at them or, you know, be disrespectful towards them. And for me, it was just like a respect thing. Like I'm a fan, you know, and I'm not scared to say that. Like a lot of people don't. So like I'm truly a fan of your page and your work. So that's why I really wanted to have you on my podcast. That's why I was so animate on, hey, call me. Or I know you ain't trying to give me your number, but shoot, let's hop on Zoom. Like I was really pressing it, and I wasn't gonna stop, just because I'm a fan and I believe in your work. And yeah, I definitely wanted to have.
So how long was you watching me, if you don't mind me asking, before like you
I was watching you ever since that you DM me. Pure honestly, since you DM me and I followed you back. Like, and it's not like on no stalking type stuff.
No, you're
like,
good.
You know what I'm saying? Like when you would post something, I'll be like, oh dang, like, oh, she graduated. Or, you know, I'm talking about doing my first YouTube video. And to be honest, like just being real, you're someone that inspired me to do my own YouTube. Like seeing you step out of your own lane. And yeah, I gotta give you props. And so since we doing this, you know, I do this segment, it's called Giving People Their Flowers. And this kind of like I feel like what it is. So we'll just throw that in there. But it's yeah, like you inspired me to take a leap of faith on myself. And obviously just having that within your followers, because what my followers know me for was youth basketball. And when I started doing daily videos first, and then I built into a podcast. Nobody's seeing what I was doing. They was looking at me like I was retarded. Like, what is Trey doing? Like, they don't hoop no more. And then you got some people that feel like you fell off because you don't play basketball no more. But for me, it was something to where like I still could have played, but I always told myself I'm not gonna be in one lane, because I've seen too many people in my town that played basketball and that didn't make it. Like they live this life of, man, I could have did this and I hate that I could have stuff. Like that's my 2022 word. I swear, like even people around me, do not talk to me about I could have did. I don't care. Like what are you gonna do now, and what are you trying to build? Because that's what it's about. Like all this I could have did this. Like I just really don't believe in that no more. And I kind of want to get that out of my system. And the people around me, I don't want to hear that, you know, public service announcement. But And obviously, you know, as an African American, when you do something for a long time, people attach that for you. And that's another thing about parenting, which I think that needs to be checked. You can't say, oh yeah, he played basketball and he gets that all his life, and then you don't make it to the level you want to, and then their identity is, oh, that boy used to be good at that, and then it starts to used to.
Oh yeah.
And you know, and then now you going to gyms and you trying to act like you in the NBA, you playing all hard and comparing yourself to people. And that's something I had to deal with. Like, I was going to open gyms in college and people was like, yeah, you only scored 4 on me, shoot, da-da-da. And I'm like, man, you taking this as this. I'm just here to get a run, you know. But mentally, I had to understand that sometimes people not really comfortable of their accomplishments in their life and what they haven't done. And that's something that in African-American culture, like, we got to check that. As parents, as moving forward, you cannot attach a label on a kid.
Right.
He's gonna be an NBA player one day. Yes, that's good to believe in that dream, or he a basketball, but like always have, they always say that, like, having a backup plan. Like, I've never wanted to, like, I hoop and I still can hoop, but it's like, I'm not really, you know, I'm a man first. I'm
right.
me first. That's a hobby, you know. So, but yeah, and yeah, that's exactly why I wanted you on my podcast. That's me giving you flowers.
I appreciate it so much. Like, after the call that we had, like, nobody knows the conversation we had.
Right.
But it made me realize, like, dang, I never really know who's watching me. Of course, I'm public with my life, but it's like, I never know who I'm inspiring. I never know who's watching. I never know who needed, like, that video I just posted. So, yeah, I appreciate that.
Oh, for sure. And like I said, I definitely always want to give flowers to my guests and just everything that they do, because I'm truly a fan. Like, I don't just have people on here just because, oh, you got this many amount of followers or things like that. I'm a true fan of people work. And that's something that I'm always going to put first. Like, your work, like, I can't really judge people's character until I get them on the phone, but I'm a good energy person. And I realize like, our energies match. You know, like, sometimes you can interview, like, I've done like talks with people, our energy don't match, you know, and that was something as well. Like, dang, our energy match too. This would be a dope episode, and it's great too. Like, I can't wait till this come out. It's gonna be, yeah, it's good.
I know you're gonna work on this thing right after.
So, man, look, I gotta do like you. I gotta go shopping. I gotta meal prep, but. So I'm glad that you sent me the questions, and this is one that stuck out to me. It was like, if I ever wanted to be on your YouTube channel, what would I like to do? I would definitely like to go around Dallas and just show me everything, like stuff that you like though, that's like really important. Like, I like going visit places that have an importance for people, because I can understand the backstory on it. Like, for me, I got this water spot I take everyone to. And it's right down the water, but I love going there because personally, like, it helped me a lot with my breakup. It helped me a lot during just like finally moving on my own, finally like becoming, like, you know, I feel like I've been a man, but like, once you get on your own, as you know, have your own apartment, have your own furniture, and pay bills, it's a different responsibility, you know.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, man. I like to have like the story behind that. But yeah, if I was ever on your YouTube, hey, let's which I'm definitely a fan. Let's go around Dallas. Let's get the camera. Let's just vibe out. Like, I wouldn't even say plan something, like think about something on the fly and let's go. Like, that's where I think more spontaneous things and the most fun happen, when you just do stuff. When you got stuff planned, sometimes it don't really go as planned, and like mentally you like, damn, we didn't get to do this. I like to be spontaneous. Like, on Sundays, I call it tray days. I just do whatever I think. If I think about eating something, I cook it. You know, if I think about going somewhere, I go. You know, I had to reel back to going out to eat and stuff because I'm eating healthy. But yeah. I take. But
I love Dallas. It's so big out here. I'm like, dang, I still haven't seen the whole city. And right now, I don't even care to see the whole city.
I'm for sure. I'm gonna have to look. I would love to be on the YouTube for sure. For sure.
I bet.
For sure. So yeah, the DM me. You got my number. Text me.
Right.
I'm in Dallas. Look, hey, what up? We can link up. It's really nothing. Last few questions, and then I'll let you go.
Okay.
Okay. What advice would you give your younger self?
Oh, you asking me?
Yeah.
Oh, because I asked you the question.
All right, I'm gonna answer it too. We go
all right,
both
so
answer these. We go both answer these.
Things are gonna get better because I mean I didn't have the most perfect childhood. People might think that, but I know I had cousins laughing at me because I used to sleep on the floor in my grandparents' house. I just went through so much mentally, probably like I was saying earlier, probably things that a kid shouldn't go through at a young age. But I wish I could just tell myself like things will get better. Like just brush it off, keep going. Like it's a better you coming. Like one day your cousin's gonna want to be you, and they kind of do want to be me, which is funny.
Right. And for me, the advice I would give my younger self is to always believe in yourself. Like I used to get picked on for being dark skinned, like so much. I used to stutter as a kid. Man, it was my childhood was crazy. But mine would really be to believe in myself because like even as that and also just like how I am now, like be more expressive to my pain. Like I've always had a pain of losing my pops. Like and it's always been this thing to where I don't talk about it or nothing, but it's like it's there, you know, and I wish not even I wish because I don't regret nothing in my life, but my advice to my younger self would definitely be believe in yourself because everything that I've tried to do, everyone doubted it. When I said I wanted to play as a young kid football, I was compared to my cousins and stuff. And they was like, oh, well, you ain't going to be him or you ain't going to. And, you know, I've always overcame every challenge. For basketball, you know, I've been to college. I had a chance to be a professional, you know. It's like I've always overcame my challenges. And I just wish as a kid I had that mind because I didn't believe in myself when I was a kid. Like I remember like, people around me believed in me more than I believed in myself. And now I believe in like can't nobody, you know, like it's flipped. And man, shout out to my cousin Dez, man. He got me thinking about him right now. Like, man, he always believed in me, like no matter what. And as a kid, I ain't gonna lie, I always shied away. But yeah, now it's definitely like everything's unchanged and yeah. So who's your favorite celebrities?
Definitely Drake. I love Drake. I can't wait till he come to Dallas. I like Drake. I like Tiana Taylor because I like the way she expressed herself through
love Tiana Taylor. Love Tiana
Taylor. She a baddie, man.
What? Man.
I like her, the singer, her. I like Queen Naija because everything she went through, and I feel
Naija like is her out. And look, hey, I love music. I love Queen Naija.
Really? See, somebody get it, man.
Hold on. Look, let me tell you that I be jamming, man. I be jamming. I like our music. You said what?
Queen Naija helped me get through my breakup.
Oh, me too. Hey, I be jamming. I truly be jamming her though. I swear I got so much music on.
Well, if you want to say who I look up to her. She's goofy, and then she remind me of me because that's how I be acting. And then like all that stuff she went through with old dude, and like now she got somebody way better. And I'm like, dang, this gonna be me. Just wait.
What up? Look, I love that song Butterflies.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why, but like that's the song. Like she got a bunch of bangers, but Butterflies, that for
part 1 or part 2?
Part 1.
Okay, yeah.
Part one.
Yeah.
The original, you know.
Yeah.
My favorite celebrities, obviously LeBron. What LeBron doing just as a basketball player alone, and just with him speaking out on all these issues, I definitely admire him. I admire Kevin Gates as well.
Oh yes, I love him.
Kevin Gates. So I listen to all his interviews. Just the way he think. I'm praying. I'm about to start going on his page and just comment, drop a book list, because he reads so much and he's so smart, you know, and he's someone that authentic that done made mistakes, but also own up to it. Obviously, being from Louisiana, I gotta say Boosie, you know, even though he be just saying some confrontational thing. And one thing I will say about Boosie is he always stand on his word, whatever he say, and he can take, you know, being wrong or being judged. I don't agree with anything he said, but I do, you know, that he's one of my favorite celebrities for sure. He gotta be. You know how it is in Louisiana. Like, you don't like me. It's like, You know what I'm saying?
What's wrong with you? Yeah, Kevin Gates got me wanting to drink sea moss every morning. And
Man,
we have a farmer's market.
Oh man, I'm so healthy. Like really, like a big part of my health is Kevin Gates. I swear I take sea moss every morning. Literally, I got like 2 big things. Like I don't. Yeah, Kevin.
How does it taste?
So the thing about sea moss is you can get it in different things. My advice to you is it's very, very strong. I didn't like the organic, which is also like the best thing for you, because even if you put fruit or anything in there, it's nasty. I take the supplements. It's the same thing, but it's not the same impact. But I'll take it because that taste, it like sea moss holds like a strong taste in your mouth, and I don't like it. So
because I'm a texture person, I'd be like,
yeah, and I'm like really into food. Like my taste buds are very strong, so, and that's something that I noticed within myself. Like some people can just eat certain stuff, bro. If it ain't, if it ain't, you know. But
if the texture weird, I ain't eating it.
Right. Oh, let me shout out some queens that I follow heavy. Obviously Serena Williams. I love Serena Williams. I love everything about her. I love her authentic. Just their story of them coming up. I'm a big fan of Serena Williams. Music wise as well. I'm a big fan of Alicia Keys. Man.
She was the first female Black artist I had as a CD as a kid.
Right. I love Alicia Keys. And last one, definitely not least, that woman that I look up to is what's her name? Dang, I can't believe that's literally my crush too. Dang, what's her name? She do like sports. What's her name? Dang, that's crazy. I literally.
Is she a singer?
No. She's like a sports reporter. Well, this is like my biggest crush, but I like her mentally too as well. Like I just she's a dope ass person. What is her name? I can't believe I'm forgetting her name. I swear we gonna get off of here and I'm gonna be like, what was I thinking?
That ain't her name. Well, I want to add one person to my list. Gabrielle Union. I love her. Ooh. I've always looked up to her since Daddy's Little Girl. Gabrielle Union.
Dang. Oh, I'm trying to really think of this girl's name. And I see her. It's crazy. I see her all the time.
I'm just saying, look on Instagram. You'll probably find it.
Yeah, hold on. Because I got to put this in there. Dang, I'm going to have to put this whole clip of me searching everything. Because look, man, I was like, man, look, I better not ever have a chance. Because what's her name? I don't know. I follow her.
I'm just saying, or Google it.
Yeah. Let me Google it right quick.
Yeah, Google pull up things fast. The power of Google these days.
Man, you can Google anything. Man.
YouTube too. You can YouTube anything.
What? Nah, that's not her. Dang.
I definitely like Gabrielle Union. Just everything she's been through with her miscarriage.
Taylor Rooks.
What's her name?
Taylor Rooks.
Taylor Rooks or Hayla Rooks?
Taylor Rooks.
See, I don't even know who that is. So now I gotta.
Man, look. Yeah, she the one for real. I like her personality and everything. Obviously, she's beautiful. She a queen and all the things.
She is beautiful.
She is like she's a dope person. I like her personality. I listen to like interviews and just how she interview people. Like she really dope for sure. For sure. But
Sportsnet New York.
Yeah. What are your 2022 goals?
To get healthy, stop eating all this junk food, stop eating everything in Dallas. It's so hard. Dallas is the worst place to try to lose weight.
Anything in the South, I'm telling you, you come across that border, you get healthy real quick. You ain't gonna get that.
Right. YouTube, I already told you my goal for that. Make my income increase every month, focus on self-love and travel.
Right. And mine is I definitely increase my YouTube. I want to at least have 1,000 by the end of the year. I also want to be able to create like a money flow within my podcast. So it's a very important goal for me to drop my brand this year. That's something that I'm in works with. I'm almost done. But also be a better me, read more, understand relationships, understand myself. That's why I got this book. And I'm reading Tools of Titans right now, but I'm reading Tools of Titans and I don't like my focus to shift when I'm reading stuff. So like I like to read one whole thing and get it over with. But that's literally the next book I'm on. Like, you know, I wanna be able to level up just as a man with my thinking of treating women and also understanding women, like, and understanding different, you know, zodiac signs rule the world now. So, you know, I'm into it, but not like that. But I just want a better understanding within myself, you know, like, and yeah, that's my goals, man. Be a better role model for sure. What books are you currently reading?
I'm reading one called Attitude by John Maxwell. He has a lot of good books. And I was reading another one. Oh, I'm trying to order a Will Smith book and read that one.
What's a book that like has impacted you? Like, what's one of the books that was like, oh, like this one set me on something different? Like really.
So I'm into urban books, so Gabrielle Union's book. Just hearing everything she went through, because I don't know, when I was depressed, I used to think I used to have the most depressing life ever. But then reading her book made me realize, like, dang, you're gonna go through stuff, but as long as you keep pushing, you good. So her book also helped me get through depression.
Like Nipsey say, man, the game gonna test you.
It's so true. That's so true.
They gonna test you. Nah, I think for me, books I'm reading right now, I'm reading Tools of Titans. I don't know who that's by. I'm also reading autobiography of Malcolm X. I'm reading that because mentally, I kind of like had to take a step back in the light that, you know how when you graduate and like you go into school or something, and then like you kind of start chasing your dreams, so you kind of get out of the light of everything as far as going out. So you start to view yourself differently, like, and people start to view you differently. Like when you go into school, you doing something great, but then when you get out of school and you start working, they start well, you should be working here, you should be doing that, and sitting in that light. At first was tough for me, but you know, reading the Malcolm X book, it really has taught me a lot of things. So that's what I'm currently reading in a book.
What's the name of the Malcolm X book?
The autobiography of Malcolm X. If I listen, I'm a big, huge. I didn't say it whenever we did, but I'm like a huge Malcolm X fan. Like the type of man he was, the morals he stood on, and just like what he accomplished. Like this man was in jail and literally taught himself everything. And he lived every life you can live, from a street hustler to a politician, everything in between that. Being broke, having his father being died, or being lynched, like everything that done led him up to his point. Like, and it's so dope, just his mind of just how he thinks about everything. And yeah, it's like a story of his life. I would encourage you to read.
Yeah, I'm gonna read that.
I'm telling you, it'll teach you a whole bunch of stuff. But just like even in today's society, like, and a lot of people throw like negative things at him, like call him a racist and stuff. He definitely was not racist. I
don't think he was.
Nah, he talks about the mind of being African American, and literally the stuff he says, like in his book that he wrote way back then, is the same thing that's going on now. Like my mom, I ain't gonna talk. My mom, my mom loves the lottery, and a lot of our people do. Literally, the number system that started that was way back in the day, and they had to like, you know, it was like street corners, street hustlers, and think about what it's grown into today, to the lottery of winning that $1 million in the mind that people have. And like he break all that down.
Man, let me say something about the lottery. I don't care who don't like it. I'm not trying to disrespect your mom. My grandmother plays the lottery. She thinks she gonna forever win and take
forever win. I swear to God.
The lottery is a broke people's game. Do not play the lottery.
Also, a lot of things what people don't talk about who win the lottery is a lot of people that do win that, you 1 in a million, but you haven't grown mentally enough to be able to accept the money. Yeah, so when you get the money, all these problems come in. That's another thing too, like reading these type of books with the Tools of Titans, and really like listening to Nipsey. What Nipsey put me on game is, it's like you literally like you gotta learn how to be able to accept your blessings. You can't just get a blessing, you know, like, and you're not ready, because like you said, the game gonna test you. Like that's when you got to separate friends from family. You got to separate how you run your business and everything, and all that's real. Like I made changes within my 2021 that I noticed that, which is crazy. It helped me grow in life. In 2022, I made changes in that, and it's so crazy that I even lived my life like 2021. You know what I'm saying? And it's all, and that's why like I just personally believe in what I'm doing with this mental health and everything. Like I know my blessings gonna come, but I'm trying to be prepared to take them. Like with my time management, with getting things done, with like having ideas and just all this other stuff. Like that's something that I'm learning about myself, and I truly believe my mission. Like I know I'm gonna be great. I know the world gonna know my name, but at the same time, it's like I gotta be prepared for that. Like
I still ain't ready. Like I know.
Nah, for sure. And I don't think I'm ready, to be honest. I think I'm building up to that. You know, and a book that doesn't change my perspective with everything in life and how I treat women and everything is called The Way of the Superior Man. It's a book that Laura London gifted to Nipsey. I heard it in an interview and I read it, and that book literally changed my life of relationships and everything. And just one thing about relationships that I learned, is like when you first meet someone, it's so new to where like you get to learn each other. And just speaking on kind of like a little bit of my relationship, and not to down my ex or any woman, like I would never do that, but it's a thing to where what I learned personally is the newness becomes new, and then as y'all become together and y'all start to be in a relationship, the time consuming and everything, and then once you build it up to being in a household together, relationships is about building, and both people have to be willing to learn. Both people have to be willing to continue to want to build. And if one, like, you can't have a response of, oh, well, this is how I was when everything first started, or vice versa with a man. Like, you can't say, well, this is how I am. You got to be willing to take those punches and to be able to learn with each other and grow. Like, I feel like a lot of divorce come and people say, you're not the person you was 20 years ago. No, I'm not. Why would I be that? You know, like, literally, like why would I be that? Why would I still allow those certain things? Like, I've grown as a person. So I think in a relationship, you got to grow. Both of y'all have to grow, and y'all might grow y'all separate ways and everything, but it's about understanding how your partner have grown differently. Maybe you used to like doing this, but now I don't like that. It's not, well, you used to, no, you can't get mad at that. It's like, oh, okay, well, since you don't like that, what do you like to do now? Well, I like to do this. And then that's how y'all come together. You know what I'm saying? Like, not really being one-sided to things. And I ain't saying I got the answers to everybody that I'm speaking of relationships. I just feel like I'm growing as a person. I feel like I'm understanding as a person. And once I am able to find my queen, like, I think I want to be able to be I'm not gonna ever be perfect. But one thing I live my life by, and this is my key word to everything, is understanding. I always want to be able to understand my partner or just people that I'm in business with or anything. Like, understand you first, and then let's talk, you know? So I definitely think that. How you feel about that?
I agree, because like you were saying, when y'all live together, everything starts to change, and sometimes it's for the good, sometimes it's for the bad. It's like you gotta learn how this person live. You have to adjust to it. You have to know what they like, they don't like. If they're a neat person, you're a messy person, it's not going to work. Relationships is just work. It's like building.
Work and understand.
When you marry, you're a team. So
right. How you feel about marriage? Like, how you feel? Because I ain't gonna lie, at first I was like, yeah. But man, the way the society is, like, you can't be a square in the game. Like, some people ain't trying to get married. You know, like,
honestly, I want to get married, but I don't want to waste my time. Like, I don't. Right. You know what I mean? Like,
I feel you. Like,
but yeah, I just see marriage. It's just like, I want that person to be on the same mindset as me, same money mindset as me, can manage money, can manage a marriage, can manage a business. Because I don't want to marry somebody that's working a job and I'm a business owner. Like, I don't want my husband to have to borrow money from me because I'm making all the money. That affects relationships too.
Right, yeah, for sure. That understanding that. How you feel about that though? Like since you brought that up, like what's
I just told someone this. I said marriage wise.
do you feel like your husband have to make more money to you? Is that what you said?
He doesn't have to make more money than me, but he can't be like working like, if I see this guy has like potential like in a clothing business and he doesn't go like towards it, that would turn me off. And I'm like, dude, you could be a CEO right now. You don't have to be working at Foot Locker, being like a slave to them. Like, I don't know. Like, money isn't a big thing, but if I know this guy,
money, I say this all the time. Money is not a big thing, but it's a thing. Like,
yeah, it's
not an invisible thing. Like, no woman, I don't care what people say, I'm gonna just be honest. No woman is gonna talk to a man that don't have nothing. And vice versa. A man is not gonna talk, especially if you don't have no hustler spirit or hustler ambition to get money. Now, the amount of money you might not have that, but if you ain't got no ambition to get it, please, like, you come on, man. You gotta be realistic.
That's basically what I was saying too. Like, oh yeah, if he has an ambition to have his own business, why work at a Foot Locker? So yeah.
Right. Now, I think, and this is just my personal opinion, it don't really matter to me about who's the breadwinner. Well, who's gonna be the breadwinner within the household? Like, some men got this thing of like, you know, like wanting to have more money than their queen. Or for me, just me personally, my mindset is, like I said, I grew up in a woman household. Like, no man could come in the house and no man outwork my mom. Like, no man could give her more money. So it was like, I don't truly believe in that. Like, I believe, this is how I believe, like, in things and with the relationship, and, you know, people can comment how they want, but whatever the breadwinner
comments.
Because people be having something to say. Look, people be having something to say. If I got a woman and my woman make more than me, I'm not gonna ever shame her or make her feel like if my woman want to spoil me and get me gifts on the daily. What a lot of men do is they feel like, and I understand it too, because you don't want no one taking care. You want to be able to do your own, but people don't understand how they block how another person feels. Like, if your queen is sitting there wanting to do stuff for you and you judging her for everything she do because she got the money to do it, it mentally gets her to, well, I don't want to do that because he's gonna get like, or he gonna get mad, or he gonna start to feel some type of way, and that affects the relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always like whenever I get a queen, and if she making more money, babe, do what you want. You want to spoil me, and I'm gonna be happy with everything you give me. I'm not gonna ever have you going somewhere and like, I would get him something, but you know, I've been getting him stuff and he doesn't, you know what I'm saying? And that's what a lot of men do. And then they make the partner feel some type of way, but the woman not gonna tell you that, she gonna eat it, you know, but in a point in time, like, it starts to build, you know, like, dang, like, I want to do something for my man, or, you know, they with their friends or something, and the friends doing something for their men and stuff like that. And also being appreciative. Like, I appreciate a woman that go get the bag. Right. And you know what I'm saying? Like, as a man, like, yeah, you out work, babe, keep going. Look, what do you need? Like, let me help you. Like, you know, like you said, it's a team thing, but it's an understanding thing as well. Like, I go back to, like, nah, like.
And this is the thing too, like, don't let outside people affect your relationship. So if y'all got those friends that be like, don't listen to what he said, and like, he's trying to like help a girl or something like that. Like, sometimes friends get into a relationship is not a good thing. So.
Hey man, nah, that's facts. But man, we gonna end here. I'm gonna go ahead and put up all your stuff where to follow you. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Been a great guest. Man, this is a dope episode. Oh my God, man. I literally can't wait to send it to my editor, get it done. Like, it's gonna be amazing. But yeah, we through. Make sure y'all click, subscribe, and everything else. And thank y'all.
Thank you.
Don't feel the need to check on me. Need you to know. Yeah. I'm more sound with a sober mind. Swear that shit so divine. When I had long days, I pull some wine. Them short nights of sleep killing me over time. It's open eyes to my bank account. It's over.